out for the real deal New England feel.
I went up the rail. My wife told me I would be ashamed of myself.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Corso and Catone.
Welcome into Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. I'm Corso. Catone is here, licking our wounds. Joe's with us in the booth. And you are watching us on YouTube, listening on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, anywhere you podcast, you're going to catch us. And when you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, give us that like, thumbs up. Make sure you leave us a comment. We'll read it on the show, or you can call us in our heated hotline, 855-313-PATS, P-A-T-S. It's a message line 24/7. Leave us a message or email us in our mailbag, corso.catone@gmail.com. Got a good one. Unfortunately, we have to go back in the week and weekly rewind and take a look at that Super Bowl 60 loss to the Seattle Seahawks, 29-13. The Patriots dropped that one. And we're going to hear from Mark and Catone's comments, so make sure you're sticking around for that. And we're going to go B's and C's, talk a little Celtics today, and get us back on track with those teams that are now both on break. One's on the Winter Olympic break, and the other one's in the All-Star break. So
the All-Star break, that's such a joke.
It is a joke. But we'll get you caught up on all of that. But hi, guys.
Hey, they're smiling. Look at these. We still have a show, ladies and gentlemen. They're here still.
The sun came up on Monday morning.
Barely.
But barely, you know.
Why did we name this episode WTF?
Yeah, that's it.
Right? That's a
door.
good one, Joe.
We should have named it the door the Patriots didn't want to look in. The door the Patriots fans didn't want to look in. You know, Mark.
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. We're going to do it in weekly rewind whenever Joe's ready. Going back through the week. About a weekly rewind.
Again, Witherspoon to the quarterback. Right up the middle. A sack for Seattle.
We had to play it.
Tackled with the defender.
Shaking your head.
The blocker. He steps up. He's in trouble. He's hit. The ball's loose. And the Seahawks recover. They take the hit. Got their pressure. Throws it right. Burner's wide. Touchdown Seattle. He drops back. Steps up. Throws it down the middle. Pass is going to be intercepted. It's in the field. They drop back. The blitz coming. He's thrown. And the ball's not loose. Picked up on the wall. Throws it right to the 20. 15 down. He's chased by Morgan Moses, who won't catch it. This is a good score. The Seattle Seahawks celebrate a 29-13 victory over the Patriots.
I reminded them that we're 307 days into what hopefully is a long, successful relationship, and that it's okay to be disappointed. We have to be disappointed and upset together. Grateful that I get to coach them. Part of our identity is not being a front runner. Every year somebody's going to lose this game, and we have to remember what it feels like and make sure that it's not repeated.
That's what fuels you. And I think that's the biggest thing about life. You're going to have times like this, and it's how you bounce back. And I think, a lot of those guys in that locker room are going to use this as fuel, and I think, go to war with those guys anytime, any day, anywhere. Motivation to get back here and not have this feeling and have what they're feeling out there.
Yeah, that was some of the sounds of the Super Bowl. We're going to hear from Mike Vrabel in a second again, his post-game comments. Overall, Mark, what's your impression of that day, that game? Anything you want to share with us?
They sucked. What do you want to hear? No. Well, listen. You know what, Chris? I mean, and you mentioned it in the intro, the door that, the Patriot fans didn't want to look into. We talked about this during the week, this week. If it wasn't the Patriots playing, I think you and I pride ourselves as not being homers and we're the real deal New England feel, and we call it how it is. We call out coaches. We call out, players. If the team stinks, we say they stink. We'll tell you why we think they stink. It doesn't matter. But in this particular situation, this particular game, if it wasn't the Patriots, you and I probably would have said, we
would have buried Seattle.
We would have buried Seattle. Similar to what we said last year about Philly, we would have said, there's no way this team's beating Seattle. Forget it. Forget it. Seattle's, you know what I mean? But we just, we didn't want to see it.
We wanted to ride that carpet ride one more week.
We wanted to ride it, and maybe we still could have with some tweaks and different types of things that, coaching moves, which we're going to get into today, and we're all going to get into even more detail tomorrow on the Pats Nation. But I think the comment you made at the very beginning of the show, Chris, is true.
This show, we created this show as a show for the fans.
Yes.
Okay.
We did.
This is different because we're fans just like you. And we've always preached that.
Yes.
That we're as unreasonable as you are.
Yeah.
Okay. As ridiculous as you are. But we bring a knowledge and some intelligence to the story so that you can go to the water cooler and have a discussion. And like Mark just said, there were all these scenarios for this game. With McDonald versus McDaniel, and was it Drake May, the weather and coming out of his shell is gonna blow. He's gonna blow up in this game and have a fantastic game. They're gonna run the ball. All these different scenarios we explored, and there was that one door that was sitting off to the side, that one red door that we just didn't want to open and look in. And every fan in the New England region, including us here, just didn't really want to look in that door. And that's the door that said Seattle's going to kick the shit out of this team. Everywhere else in the country, everybody else was looking in that door.
Yeah, we did.
That's just part of being fans. It's just part of believing and like Vrabel says, believing in something before you can see it, and all that crap. And we rode the ride. And
but can I throw this in there? Except up until the fourth quarter, when we scored, that looked pretty like normal. And I think that's what the fans were rolling in with. The first three quarters, not at all. You know what I mean? But like that last quarter, when we started making things happen, with no time left, it was like, this is what they do.
Seattle did a few different things that allowed for that to happen. And so don't let your eyes deceive you. The bottom line is the Patriots got their ass kicked. I mean, end of story. That's it. They got to deal with it. They got to face it. This is what Vrabel had to say post game.
Our identity is not being a front runner. And so, again, just like every year, somebody's going to lose this game, and we have to remember what it feels like and make sure that it's not repeated. We couldn't gain any rhythm, field position. We got to get into drives better offensively. Defensively, we've been really good against the run lately, and we weren't. And, again, we were just playing catch up. And we did a great job in the red zone, and we competed. But unfortunately, I think the turnovers, ultimately costed us. And I appreciate the way that the guys offensively battled and competed. But just not enough consistent, execution. That I'm proud of everything that they did. I'm disappointed, just like they are. I reminded them that we're 307 days into what hopefully is a long, successful relationship and program. And it's okay to be disappointed. We have to be disappointed and upset together.
Okay, so. Let's get into Drake May. Let's talk about the offense. Let's talk about Drake May. Let's talk about the
elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Was he injured enough that you think it affected how he played? Because he admits after the game he got shot up. He took a shot. So he admits that right after, he admitted it.
Here's what I think. And I mean this. I don't think he understood, because when you say shot up, he got numbed up and all that. Yeah. It's such a very little amount that they give these guys.
Well, now you can't shoot them up like you could years ago, Chris. There's rules around that. There's limit.
Right.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it was a feeling in his shoulder. in that numb feel that he never felt before. I believe that. And I believe he just was hyper-focused on it. Here's why I think it affected him. And you know what? I'm not going to be one of these guys that says, oh, doesn't want to go down that road because we feel like we're making, I don't give a shit. Well, yeah, when I'm not making excuses, I'm seeing what my eyes see. And when I saw the end zone shot to that interception he threw late in the game, when it was 19-7, 8 minutes left, they're on the 45-yard line, it's 2nd and 3, okay? He throws a ball down the center of the field to what looked like to nobody. But when you go back and you look at it, Williams was coming open on that deep corner, and that's where the ball was supposed to go, to the outside. That's a touchdown, by the way, because he's behind the coverage on that. It's a throw we've seen him make all year long. When I looked at the end zone shot in his eyes and his face as he was making that throw, his face was turned to the side, to the right side, to where that ball wants to go. The ball didn't come out there. The ball didn't go that way. That ball came out center of the field, not where he was looking. Now, I don't know if it was a strength issue, an arm strength, and he couldn't feel his arm. He couldn't get enough torque. I don't know what it was, but that ball didn't go where he was looking for it to go. End of story. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean it was the shoulders? I mean, it was this. It mean he was just sped up? I don't know. How the hell do I know? You know? But no, I think it was hurting him. But there's so much more, Mark, that was a problem.
There is. I just wanted to get that out of the way to start the show off, and let's move on now and get into what else we want.
Sped up. I mean, he was so sped up.
Oh, it was ridiculous how sped up he was, Chris. It was ridiculous. I'm going to tell you something, Chris. And we talked about, well, let's get into this first. I got some things I want to say, but let's go through this.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going through him. We're talking about him, and I tell you what you love about the kid. This is what you love about the kid.
I shot it up, so not much feeling. It was good to go and felt all right.
Not much feeling, he says.
But it was good to go, he said.
I think it'd be hard to say that. I was feeling good enough to be out there. I wouldn't.
He never dismisses it, though.
If I'm out there, I wouldn't put the team in, harm's way to not be, myself, and just didn't make plays tonight. Proud. That's probably the reason I'm choked up most. This team is something that just glad to be part of. I think the people will make the plays, and we got great people all around it that help us, support staff and great fan base. I'm just glad to have this uniform on and look forward to getting back and playing another one. It's a business at this level, but it's more than that. It's more than that. In a game like this, and I think that's about it. It's more than a business. There's people in there that are doing it, not for the money or the fame, and that's what's cool about this team. You got to play your best, and those plays that can change the game matter. And if you make them, you're celebrating. If you're not, you're sitting here, crying at a podium. So that's part of it. And I know the postseason is what you play for, and I know we'll have we'll be back in the postseason, and that's what you play the game for.
That's why everyone loves this kid.
Yeah.
So what went wrong? Why was he so bad at the playoffs, Mark? I mean, he 30 points lower than what he was in the regular season. Went from 72 to a 50 something, whatever. I mean, completion percent, all that. You know all the numbers. Everybody's heard the numbers all week. What the hell happened?
Well, when you look at the 3 games, he was definitely sped up in each one of those games, Chris. Couldn't set his feet. Once he got sped up, I mean, we talked about Sam Darnold, seeing ghosts. We joked last week about, maybe you can get him to see ghosts again. Well, I think May was so sped up that I don't want to say he was seeing ghosts, but it affected his technique. His footwork was off, Chris. Everything that he was trying to do from that pocket was off. It was almost like he went back to what he was, his rookie year at the beginning when you said, Mark, his form's off, his footwork's off, there were so many things that had to be cleaned up. It was almost like he reverted back to a lot of that bad form because he was so sped up and couldn't plant and couldn't get comfortable in the pocket. Listen, Chris, and so as well as I do as a you coach the game. So your tackles are supposed to create width for you. And technically the guard in the center, they're supposed to create that depth in the pocket, right? If you're a center, you're a guard, you're supposed to, in simple terms, you're supposed to create depth in the pocket, but the tackles create the width, right? Yeah. Well, in this game, and really in this game, he had neither width or depth, but he had no width, Chris, the entire playoffs. There was nothing in that pocket
especially on the left side.
Especially on the left side. The left side was atrocious. And even Moses struggled in this Seattle game. In the Seattle game, Moses struggled. Showed his age. He struggled. So I think that, yes, you want to say, oh, he wasn't 100%. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. You can say whatever you want, Chris. The fact is, he was sped up. He had no pocket. Yes, you could run, but you weren't running in the Seattle game, Chris, because Seattle was aware that he likes to take off in the middle of the field. That was sealed and shut down. Listen, I talked about coaching last week, and I gave the coaching advantage to Vrabel and McDaniel. Boy, was I wrong. Oh, was I wrong. I was 1,000% wrong, because that guy McDonald ate them up. He ate them up. He knew exactly what they were going to do, Chris. In fact, in the game, the safety, Love, says, oh, when he takes this step, the ball's gone. He knew. They studied so much film, Chris. They knew every single one of May's tendencies in the pocket.
Yeah.
Like he mentions it in the game. So...
And you sacked 21 sacks in the playoffs.
Chris, that would have anybody rattled and not being themselves as a quarterback.
Yeah, 21 sacks in the playoffs, 7 fumbles, a 31 rating postseason, 55%, all that. So
Chris, I think is a record for the playoffs.
Yeah, it is a record. And Campbell was 28 out of 28 tackles that were in the playoffs. He was ranked 28th. So, and we're going to get to wideouts in a second. But because there were guys open. There were guys open in this game. There were times he could have shifted in the pocket a bit and waited for somebody to come free. He'd do it. It wasn't comfortable. He never was comfortable. And I don't know that he was comfortable. And I think it turns out that the weather actually ended up helping him throughout this. That weather, that bad weather, masked some real issues, some real problems. And so when we talk about Campbell, because that's been the talk all week long, about Campbell.
Yep.
So, and guys, bear with it today. This is our Super Bowl recap show, so this is going to go along a little. It's just what it is. But these segments. But Campbell, let's hear.
About the other night not being available to talk. Just had a lot of emotions. Obviously going after tough loss, long year. Just a lot of emotions come with that. I just wanted to make sure that I had my head on properly before I said anything. I didn't want to say anything that I didn't need to say. It comes with the job when you don't perform. Obviously, I was picked high, and paid a lot, so people expect a certain thing, and I expect more of myself. So whenever I don't perform, I don't expect, everyone to be like, it's okay, buddy. Obviously it sucks, but it doesn't suck for anyone more than it sucks for me.
When you sign up to play left tackle, you sign up to play corner, you sign up to play quarterback, you sign up to be the head coach. You get judged, you get scrutinized. Will's 22 years old. He's our left tackle. He'll get better. He'll get stronger. Moments where he played well, moments where he blocked a guy. There's plays he'd like to have back. We're not moving Will to guard or to center or to tight end or anywhere else.
Okay, so that puts that to bed, I guess, as to what's going to happen with him next. Is he going to move to guard and all that? Listen, I think it's premature too. Going back and looking at everything, okay, and I watched all 3 games again, all 4 games again. Mark starts to hit on that when he's talking about creating the depth, creating the width, with the tackles. He's got a lot of work to do. I mean, that's what it is. It's not about his short arms. It's not about that. That is not what I saw. What I saw are where his setup spots are. Where's his set? He's perpendicular a lot to the line of scrimmage versus parallel, meaning he's not square to the line of scrimmage. He ends up with his shoulder, his right shoulder facing downfield. And when you do that, you create 3 different moves for the defensive end. You create an easy path to the quarterback when you're set up perpendicular and you're not parallel, and you hear Schlereth talking about that this week too, about that kind of thing. And that's the stuff that was happening when he would drop and set, instead of setting wide, he would set deep, and he'd end up basically being set right in front of his damn quarterback. So this is you saw it out so many times. So like it's his technique, and that can improve and that can get better, because ultimately throughout this whole season he ranked about 50%. He ranked about 15th, 16th in the league, right, Mark?
Yeah.
In tackles. So
and Chris, if he ranked about 50% in the league, if you had better receivers to go along with that, then which we're going to get into later, then that's okay. Yeah.
So again, the offensive line was tough. And Wilson was just as bad. I mean, Wilson, look, this is the first time they ever, 2 rookies ever started on an offensive line in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah.
And you could see it. It showed up. And Seattle's damn good. They're a damn good football team.
So Chris, listen, there's a clip I saw on social media. There's a clip of Campbell warming up in the end zone before the game starts. One of the Patriot guys has like it's like a big pad that they right?
Yeah.
During warm-ups.
Yeah, sure pad, yeah.
Right? Chris, his foot's crooked, his ankle's collapsing, his knees caving in. Even doing that, Chris, everything's off. Everything's wrong. Now, is it because of the torn ligament in the knee? Was he overcompensating? Did that make his form even worse? Probably a little bit. That probably aided in it, Chris. I'm thinking maybe, right? But
they listen.
He has a lot of technique things. Listen,
he's got a lot of work to do.
Chris, even guys in the NFL that play the game say this kid's got potential. You can't give up on this kid.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So all this talking about moving him to guard and all that crap, even us, we were saying it too. But
well, listen, I'm not saying year 3. You may have to consider it, Chris. I'm going to give him another year.
It looked an awful lot like Joe Thuney last year in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it did. And Joe Thuney's not a tackle.
And when he went up against Sweat and those guys with the long arms,
that's what we saw.
With the length
that's what we saw.
That's what we saw. So there's a lot of stuff to improve.
I'm not going to give up on him. He's got a lot to improve on, Chris. We're going to give him year 2. What I would say is,
yes,
you do have to get some sort of an option behind him in case. You can't just leave him there and say, no matter what, we can't let our franchise quarterback get beat up for 17 games either.
No, because he's leaving. This is the first 2 years of his career, Drake May. He's leaving the season hurt. Both years. You just can't have that. You can't have that. So whatever it takes. I will consider moving Wilson over to center, which is his natural position.
Well, because Chris, no one's talking about how bad Wilson played, and no one's talking about Bradbury. Bradbury got his ass kicked in that game.
Well, let me tell you this: if they had gone and made the move for Joe Thuney, which they should have done,
you said
and I wanted him to do.
Yep.
If he was playing left guard, Will Campbell would have been a lot better. A lot better this season.
And Wilson would have been starting center probably, and you wouldn't have to go get Bradbury.
So, we'll see what happens with that. But we're going to take a break, and I want to come back. I want to finish with the offense, talk about the wide receivers, and get into some of the defense. This portion of Weekly Rewind was presented by the Pats Nation, Sundays, 8 a.m. And tomorrow's our last show for the season. So we're going to be talking.
Don't say that. Don't say it.
We're going to be breaking some more of this game down. We're going to be talking about the future, what comes next for the Patriots, and so much more. When we come back, want to stay with the offense, talk wide receivers, adjustments, want to talk McDaniels versus McDonald, and then move to the defensive side of the ball. Stick around.
Sundays are for football. And here in New England, that means it's the Pats Nation with Corso and Catone. Sundays, 8 to 9 a.m.
Back in with more Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. All right, Mark, let's get to the wide receivers, okay? Now, there were times that they were open in this game. There were. You know, it was a couple of times Douglas was open. Diggs came open on a few plays. That pass, I thought Williams was coming open in that corner out, that deep corner out. And May just wasn't seeing him, didn't get him, you know, didn't have time. Whatever the issue was, there were times that they were getting open. But the question I have for you, okay, is he's already shaking his head, and I know where he's going, and I'm going there too with you, because what I'm hearing coming out of everybody right now, again, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow. We talk about what's next. Is you got to do whatever you got to do to protect Drake May. He got hurt. He got beat up. He got all these things. We don't need a top, you know, a one to the top three receiver. It's not, you know, it's more important about the offensive line. The same bullshit I was hearing for the last 3 years coming out of the season is what I'm hearing again. Offensive line. We got to deal with the offensive line. Like, how you can't, what are you going to go draft with your first pick? Another tackle? When are they going to get it, Mark? When are they going to understand?
Last time, and I know everyone's going to say, well, he didn't do anything in the Super Bowl, but they're not there without him. Seattle's there because they got a number one. That's why they got there.
Right.
Simple. Very simple.
And last year, Philly won because of their wideouts, not because of the running game.
No, Barkley got shut down. Spagnuolo shut him down last year in the Super Bowl.
When are they going to get it? When are we all in this area going to understand that without a JSN?
And Chris, when Kansas City was at its peak performance, they had a number one. They had Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Oh, gee, it ain't no coincidence Tyreek Hill leaves and their offense isn't as good as it was in those Super Bowls.
It's a steady decline.
It's been a steady decline ever since Hill left. Steady decline. Well, it's no coincidence. They don't
Will you
have a
please
number
explain
one.
to people again why the number one helps with pass pro, please?
Because, Chris, it allows you to get rid of the ball quicker. Because they're there.
Because they get separation.
There is no separation. Listen, can I ask you a question? You're a professional wide receiver. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I was, man.
No, I know you wish you were. But if you're a professional wide receiver, Witherspoon must have blitzed 6 times.
Yeah, I would do that. But, yep.
Okay. You're a professional wide receiver, and you're watching him. You know he's coming. You can look at you see it. How do you not pick up the hot read if you're one of them, Chris? 2 of them I watched. I remember vividly.
Diggs was one.
Diggs just runs all the way like a 20-yard
seam route.
Just seam route. What are you doing? You see Witherspoon's right in front of you. He's coming.
Right to his left. And then he disappears on the snap.
What are you looking at?
Where do you think he's going? To get a hot dog? What the freak? Mark, listen,
and don't get me wrong. May's going to read it too.
Yes.
I'm not going to put it all on the receiver. However, Chris, how do you not pick that up? Pop Douglas, Chris. Witherspoon ran by him on the blitz. He ran right. How did you not see it? Douglas keeps running down the seam. What the hell is wrong with you?
On the pick 6, okay, which was basic. It wasn't really a pick 6. It was like he got hit and the ball came out and then he took it away.
Yeah.
On that play, that was, I don't know, the 4th or 5th time Witherspoon came off the edge.
Yes.
On that play, I'll tell you exactly what happened on that particular play. May identified the mic, okay, which was on the left side. This is how good Seattle is, by the way. He identified the mic, which was on the left side. So the blocking slid to the left. Everything was going to slide left.
Yep.
Which means anything was coming from the right, it was going to be hot. It was going to be a hot friggin' blitz.
Yep.
Which means Stevenson, once Witherspoon came off to the right side, or the left side, defensive left side. Once he came in blitzed, Stevenson was stuck on two guys, the inside guy and the outside guy, and he did the right thing. He picked up the inside guy because that's the guy closest to the quarterback. Here comes them. The outside guy is on May. That's his pickup. And the wide receivers pickup. And it's simple. You see him exit as a wideout, you know it's a hot read. You're taking 3 steps off the line and you're turning for the ball. May's taking 1 step, and that ball's out. It's a 5-8 yard gain every time they do it. It didn't happen all day. Didn't happen. And the other thing I'm going to say about the Witherspoon blitzing, to your point,
you can't do that if you got a number 1 wide receiver.
You got a JSN on your side.
Can't do it.
I want everybody to go back. Send us comments. Go find out how many times Witherspoon blitzed in the Rams game. I'll guarantee you not once.
Nope. No.
Why? Because you're never going to take your best corner and send them off the edge and let Nakua just run free.
Or Adams. Right?
It's never going to happen. It's a disgrace. I mean, get a number 1 goddamn receiver.
And do you know, Chris, nobody
changes the defensive scheme.
Can I say something to you, Chris? I don't think I heard one person this week, besides what you just brought up, mention the fact that Witherspoon didn't just blitz 6 times because Mike McDonald is such a good defensive coordinator. He blitzed 6 times because how many times he blitzed? Because of the lack
respect for your receivers.
Respect for your receivers. I haven't heard one of those fools on the radio bring that up. Not one of them.
I mean, it's such an obvious thing. It wasn't complicated. Listen, Mark, and the other thing is, they could, the only chance that New England had in this game offensively was you were going to have to be able to get them out of their split safety coverage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah. Seattle runs a 3 safety defense. They're in nickel 99% of the time, which means what's his name? That Umanori that was hurt. Yeah, he's that guy. Which, by the way, if you're going in the draft, the new age now is to find that guy.
That's him.
That tweener. Guy that can cover and play in the box. Because now what happened is they were able to play their split safeties high, right? Which means if you do that, normally you can run the ball against that. That invites you to run the ball. But when you got a guy like Umanori who could come down into the box, you can get 2 high safeties over the top, and you get the nickel guy coming down to stop the run and effectively stop the run. And that's why we couldn't do a damn thing. We couldn't run the ball because of that, and we couldn't get them out of split safety looks. We couldn't do it, Mark. And they're just better. They're better than we are talent-wise.
They're better. Talent-wise, they were better.
So I told you that this would be between McDaniel versus McDonald in this game. And McDaniels got pantsed.
So I got a question. I got a question for you. I'm not going to ask you today. I'm going to ask you tomorrow on Pat's Nation. I'm going to ask you a question about McDaniel. But I'm going to hold. But I'm going to hold it until tomorrow, and I'm really interested to see what your response is going to be to me.
Well, then you want to talk about the defense a little. Then
let's get into the defense.
All right.
They got run on. They had edge problems. They had problems inside the linebackers. Like Spillane was late to recognize some runs, and they were getting blocked up. I mean, going into this game, I thought the matchup between the Seahawks interior offensive line, Gray Zabel,
Bradford,
center,
the right guard, was a liability.
Bradford, the right guard, and Jalen Sundell, the center. I thought with Milton Williams and Christian Barmore and Corey Durden and these guys and Tonga inside, I thought the Patriots were going to dominate the game in there, and the exact opposite happened. I mean, Milton Williams got the sack, and he had I had him for 2 more pressures. He had a batted pass on like the first play of the game, or first drive of the game, but he also missed a couple tackles. So Milton Williams wasn't Milton Williams. Christian Barmore played well against the run. I had him for no quarterback pressures. Just across the board. I mean, Chason had 2 hurries, two quarterback pressures. Jennings had 1. I thought there were a lot of that defensive line in the first 3 playoff games. I think I graded them a 5 out of 5, and I don't give out 5s very often. They were awesome, dominating, dictated everything. In this game, it was the exact opposite.
That was Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal breaking it down. He can do a better job than me at doing that because he's 1,000% right. So for everybody out there that said the Patriots defense played well enough to win this game, and you know what? You can make the argument that they did, given that it was 12-0. Okay. I will say they weren't terrible, but they weren't good. They weren't as good as they've been, and it was fundamentally they were obvious fundamental things that went wrong on the defensive side of the ball, especially against the run, Mark.
Yeah.
Against that look, okay, that one run. Can I just tell you about the one run?
No, go ahead. I know it pissed you off. You were pissed off that day.
The one run that went off to the right, the offensive right side, started center, and then he bounced, kind of got into a hole and just took it down the sideline a little bit, right? That was one of the big runs he had. So in that situation, right, the Patriots are in a 3-4. Okay, they've got 3 linemen. I think Tonga was on the field, Williams, and probably Bonmore. And then they had a 4 linebacker. It was a 3-4 look. They may have had nickel out there. I don't know. Anyway, point is, the Seattle comes out and their splits, their splits are about 2 feet wide, meaning the offensive lineman was set up and their feet were about 2 feet apart, which is a wide split, wide gaps. What's that tell you? That tells you they're going to run this ball. They're looking for a zone run. They're looking to open up space.
Yeah.
Nobody read that. Okay? So they come out in these 2-foot splits, okay? What ends up happening is the ball ends up going, it's overload to the offensive left side. So now what you got is you got Tonga on the right. Tonga was in the perfect position to make this play. He was in a 1 technique, Mark, which means he was just left of the center. He was lined up in that gap between the center and the guard on the left side. Okay? You know what the center's job is on that? Is to go across his face, reach around him, and push him to the left. How the hell are you going to do that as a center if the guy's already lined up to your right? You can't.
You're not supposed to.
But he did. How the hell Tonga got creased back that way? I don't understand how that happened. Okay, how he wasn't through that gap making the tackle. Not only that, Gibbons.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, Gibbons screwed that up too, Chris.
He lines up on the left side of the defense, the right side of the offense, like an outside linebacker. He shifts to a stack look over Tonga, or not a Tonga, the other lineman. And instead of locking, peeking, and then shedding to the side of the ball's going, no, what does he do? He locks and picks the side. He allows himself to get turned out. And that's where the hole. And your center, such bad football. That's such bad technique, and that's what the hell happened to them all day long with the run.
Chris, on a couple of yes, it did. And on a couple of the runs.
They missed 18 tackles, by the way, too. But go ahead.
Walker bounced a couple outside too, right? He did.
Yeah.
However, if you had one of those goddamn linebackers that you've been screaming for them to draft the last 4 years, instead of a 25-yard gain, maybe it's a 5-yard gain because the linebacker cuts him off and makes the play as soon as he hits the edge because he can run sideline to sideline. But once he makes the corner, you got nobody there that can catch him because our linebackers are too slow.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good day. There's only one guy. Oh, listen, I thought Woodson played well. I thought if it wasn't for Woodson coming up in the run game, Woodson played great in the one run game.
Listen, if Woodson didn't make some of the plays he made, Chris, they might have had 200 yards rushing. Walker might have got 200 yards rushing in that game.
Right. And Bedard's right. If Woodson's making those plays, you got problems.
You got problems. Yeah, you got a lot of problems.
But Gonzalez was Gonzalez was the reason they didn't score 45 points in this game.
Yeah, he was.
He was the reason.
For a second there, I was like, wait a minute, hang on. Woodson, Gonzalez played lights out. And by the way,
he did.
Can we ask the question, or are we going to ask it tomorrow on Pat's Nation?
Well,
oh, you know, Mark.
Ask
Gonzalez.
him. Ask him. Gonzalez JSN.
Okay, so I'm just going to say something about that now.
And listen, if we don't listen, everybody, if we may not get the Celtics today, and if that happens,
so I'm just going to say this. So Let me pull up the stats. Hold on a second.
But before he says it, Joe, while he's pulling up those stats, let me say this. I agree. I don't really know what he's going to say right now, but I think I do, and I agree with him 1,000%.
You don't even know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
So JSN had 4 catches for 27 yards. Yeah. Okay, not bad. I'm just going to.
Well, one of them that he was wide open though, but yeah,
he was. I'm going to bring up just 2 plays to you. A number 1 wide receiver, one time during the game, is usually going to break coverage, and he did.
Yeah.
And Donald, maybe he was hurried a little bit. I don't know. Misses him. It's an 85-yard touchdown if he hits him. All he's going to do is float the ball up.
He got behind.
Touchdown. Yep, he's way behind. So that's an 85-yard touchdown, and the 85-yard touchdown gives you now over 100 yards receiving, a touchdown, 5 receptions, over 100 yards. That's what a number 1 wide receiver does. Now, the other play I want to bring up, everybody's raving about the play Gonzalez made at the goal line, which you and I thought he should have picked it. But he didn't.
Especially given. Well, I'm going to let you. I'm not going to steal your thunder. Go.
But I'm going to say this. Go back and watch the play.
Yeah. He threw behind.
If Donald puts the ball where it's supposed to be, it's a touchdown.
Yep.
JSN had a step on him. He looks for the ball. The ball's behind him. He slows up. If he throws it where it should be, Gonzalez is late. It's a touchdown, guys. It's a touchdown. So Gonzalez played a great. Listen, I'm going to give you credit, Chris. Gonzalez played a great game.
Oh, he made a lot of money for himself.
He made a lot of money for himself. He's an all-pro, and you're really going to have to lock him up and pay him. You really don't have a choice. You got the goddamn money. Just lock him up. He said he wants to be a Patriot. Lock him up. Do what you got to do. Because you're not those type of guys, just like number 1 wide receivers, they don't grow on trees. You can't
Surtain
find
said it. Patrick Surtain said, "Yeah, that guy's a dude. Guy's
you can't find those guys. So lock them up. If you get a number 1 wide receiver someday, you got to lock them up because those guys don't come along very often. However, Donald, it's terrible. They didn't win that game because of Donald.
No. But what Donald did, what he did is he realized.
Donald misses a pass over the top. Carlton Davis is beat by 3 yards.
Yeah.
Rashid's got a touchdown. So when you say the defense played okay, they played good, but not great. They should. Those were.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not giving the.
Those are 3 touchdowns on defense. That's because the quarterback is inept. It had nothing to do with the defense, Joe.
I'm not giving the defense that big of props. I'm not.
As I went back and watched the game, at first I gave the defense a lot of props at the end of the game, and then when I went back and watched it, I said, "Well, Jesus Christ, the quarterback was terrible."
Yeah, and you needed Jones to take that first pass away.
Yes.
That first pass where he
I was just going to say to you, Chris, that first pass should have been jumped for pick 6. That changes the whole game.
Yeah.
If he
but I'll tell you this.
That changes the whole game.
On the play that you're talking about where where Donald threw the ball behind him, towards the end of it was at the end of the half. It was right before the half. I will give Gonzalez credit on some of that. Here's why.
I give
when I on that play, when you watch what JSN did, when you watch the move that he made coming off the line of scrimmage, 99 out of 100 corners in this league are still chasing by 3 yards in that situation. Because when he made that move, Gonzalez got flat-footed just a little bit, but he recovered better than I've seen any corner recover. It was unbelievable that he even was there.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable he was there.
Because that ball should have booted against any other corner. That ball's a touchdown, even where Donald threw it.
Yes, you are right. You're right.
You know, but to Mark's point, we need a goddamn number 1. We need a number 1 receiver. I don't understand. It's enough now. Enough with this nonsense. It changes everything. It changes the whole look at the defense. But again, defensively for us, look, a lot of things to improve on, a lot of things to fix, and I'm not getting off. Well, we talk tomorrow.
But
about
I will say this, Chris. I gotta say this, and you got to lock up Gonzalez.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have to now.
You're gonna have to. What are you gonna do with him? You can't let him go into his last year.
Listen, I'll put him right with. I'll put him right with Stingley right now. I'm not. Surtain's the only guy I'm gonna say is hands down better.
He's better
than Gonzalez. He is.
And you got to lock him up this offseason, Chris, because if you let him get to his free agent year, his 5th year, you're going to lose him. He's going to
gonna
go to the open. He's going to go to the open market. You're going to lock him up this summer. You're going to sign him to an extension and just get it over with, deal with it, and that's the end of it. There's nothing you can do.
So before we get to Catone's comments, did Vrabel get out coached in this game? Look, he spent entirely too long. There was so far too much of him trying to calm his players down.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know, make them feel okay. It's okay, guys. It's okay, guys. And we loved that all season long, and we loved the camaraderie, and we loved all that shit. But God damn it, man. You know? Ball up. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this, Chris.
Bad stuff happens sometimes. Come on, guys. Your head coaches constantly. Come on, Dre. Come on.
I'm going to tell you what, Chris. I don't know if it was the beginning of the 4th quarter, maybe. Was it the beginning of the 4th quarter, or was it in the 3rd quarter? Maybe in early 3rd quarter, when Henderson rushes for like 8 yards to the left side.
Yeah.
Right? He goes up the sideline for like 8 yards. It's 2nd and 2. And then he runs Henderson up the middle. No gain. Maybe he loses a yard.
Yeah, I don't know why Stevenson wasn't on the field for that.
I don't know why he wasn't. And then on 3rd down, he tries to throw an out pass to Booty, and the corner's got him all wrapped up, and he's actually out of bounds, Booty.
Yeah, on that back shoulder.
On the back shoulder.
Yeah, that was in the first half, I thought. But yeah, all right.
I thought it was
maybe
third
it wasn't.
quarter.
I don't know. Maybe it was third quarter.
I think it was early 3rd quarter, Chris.
Yeah.
Vrabel should have went for it. To try to.
Yeah, I agree.
It was 4th and 2. You know what? Go
fake
for
punt
it.
Fake punt somewhere too.
Maybe a fake punt, or line up and just go for it. But at that point, Chris, as a head coach, you had to say to yourself, I got to bring out one of McDaniel's trick plays, something on 4th down. You had to know to yourself, this game is slipping away. We ain't going to win it. I got to do something right now to change the tide of this game and try to get points. And he didn't do it. So did he get out coached? I'm going to say, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Well, he should have gone for 2 when he got the touchdown to make it an 11-point game. I don't know why he didn't do that, but more so too, there was no huddle. There was no huddle. There was no fast.
But
there
Chris,
was no
to your
empty.
point,
when
I
guys
mentioned that to you. You said they haven't done that all year, though, with this
No,
kid.
they haven't done it all yet, but no, they haven't. But so to do it now, look, I honestly feel
I wonder what the reason is for that. If he supposedly has the handle of the playbook, why haven't you done that all year?
Well, because when you're getting that much pressure, when you're that predictable, God, when that stuff would happen with Brady, they would spread the field out. They would go spread, they would go empty, and they would spread everybody out, so it gave them a much easier look at the defense and what was going on. And they just couldn't get to that. And maybe they couldn't get to that because McDaniels felt like, we can't do that. We just can't. Yeah. We're not capable of that, which talks to your talent. So, hey, listen, that's our breakdown. That's our assessment of this game. I mean, there's so much more. We'll get into more tomorrow on the Pats Nation. But it's a heartbreaker. It is, of course. But, everybody out there, just remember, I mean, this is year one. This is year one in a rebuild. As long as they do the right thing.
Chris, it's a rebuild. I think people forgot because we got this far. This team's a flawed team. It's a rebuild. This is nowhere near the finished product Vrabel thinks he's going to need to actually make a real Super Bowl
He knows
run.
that.
He knows
he
that.
Knows. We've said it all season long. He knows what he has in that room. He knows what he has. That's why culture was such a big thing this year. That's why.
Yep.
Because it was, that's what you had to live with. And they got a lot of breaks, and the schedule was one of them. And next year, we're going to go over the schedule tomorrow. That's a real brutal thing. So, again, it's a great season. It was not the result anyone wanted, but it was a great year. It was a great season. We got our quarterback. And now, as long as this team does the right things, which tomorrow we're going to talk about what those right things need to be, then I think sky's the limit for this team, in my opinion. That's what I think. So
I agree.
Good. Weekly Rewind was presented by Corso Law Group, Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. CorsoLawGroup.com. Allow us to be your voice. Hey, we come back. Buckle up. We're going to get to Catone's comments. We're going to skip Celtics today, but we're going to go Catone's comments. God help us all.
No one ever thinks they'll be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Whether it's a traffic ticket or more serious issue, go to CORSOLawGroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys.
Time for Catone
I'm going to switch gears from football. I'm going to switch gears.
Please don't talk about baseball, please.
Listen. I'm just going to read off some names, and you tell me what you think. Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge,
Oh, boy.
Cody Bellinger, Ben Rice, Giancarlo Stanton, Jazz Chisholm, Ryan McMahon, Jose Caballero. I don't even know who the hell he is. What's he, a disco dancer? I don't know who he is. And Austin Wells. What the hell kind of a lineup is that? Think you're
not exactly murderer's row?
What the hell is that lineup, Chris? That's their projected starting lineup.
Yankees.
Listen, you've got the same exact team that you had last year. Caballero's only there because Volpe's injured to start the season. Chris, it's the same goddamn team. I'm confused. I'm thoroughly confused as to what the hell we did in the offseason. Now, if you're a Red Sox fan, Roman Anthony, Trevor Story, Jared Duran, Wilson Contreras, Will Yarabrew, Carlos Navarez, Marcelo Maya. They just picked up Caleb Durbin and Cedane Rafaela. That's your starting lineup. That's not murderer's row either, Chris. So whether you're a Red Sox fan or you're a Yankee fan, I don't know what the hell these teams did in the offseason. You're banking on, if you're a Red Sox fan, that Trevor Story can do what he did last year at his age, with his injury history. That's not happening again. I don't know who in the middle of the order is going to hit on that team for power. They don't have any. Other than Anthony, I don't know what you got in the middle of the order that's going to give you anything. So you better hope that those pitchers you picked up in the offseason, you better hope that you have the number one pitching staff in the American League, because that's the only way you're going to win if you're the Red Sox. Now, the Yankees, they picked up nobody in the starting rotation either, Chris. I mean, so the Yankees starting rotation, okay, is, where the hell's their starting rotation? I wrote it down. It's unbelievable. They've got,
some of those guys are going to be hurt too.
Chris, their starting rotation, it's appalling. It's Schlittler, who now they're saying has got back pain. Rodon's out to start the season. Garrett Cole's out to start the season. Like, you're gonna be using guys, Chris, that are projected to be bullpen guys as starters. So, listen, I don't know if the Yankees will even make the playoffs this year, Chris. I saw a projection yesterday. They're projected to be third or fourth in the division. It's unbelievable. What you got with all of your resources. The owner don't want to spend any money. Cashman's just doing what the owner told them. How can the New York Yankees put that sorry excuse of a lineup on the field? God forbid Judge regresses. If Judge regresses, you're finished. You're absolute. If he has an injury, he misses 20 or 30 games. Last couple of years, he's been healthy. He misses 20 or 30 games. What the hell are you going to do? You're screwed. You got nothing. Now they're saying Dominguez might start the year in the minor leagues. What?
Why?
Then you should have traded him when you could have got money. You could have got something for him last year at the trade deadline. Maybe you could have brought something else in last year at the trade deadline when people still think he had something. Why? I don't quite understand why Grisham's back on this team. Dominguez should be playing center field and you give the kid a shot. If he makes it, he makes it. He doesn't, he doesn't. But what the hell is Trent Grisham going to give you? You think he's going to do it again 2 years in a row? Chris, I'm so disgusted. Do you realize how long it's going to be until we get to training camp? for the Patriots. Like, we got to suffer through this baseball season. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I really don't know how I'm going to. And the Red Sox
maybe
are not
the
much better.
Celtics will do something. You know,
Well,
maybe
they
Tatum
better
will
do
come back
something.
and do something.
Listen, the Red Sox are much better when I read through that lineup, Chris. The Red Sox. I mean, the only thing the Red Sox do have.
Well, they got good. The Red Sox have a good starting rotation, though. They have good starting pitching.
Is the Red Sox have?
They're 3 deep.
The Red Sox have Crochet, the kid they picked up from the Rangers, the Phillies, that Ranger Suarez. They got Sonny Gray, who I don't know. He could give you something, maybe he won't. I don't know.
That's a solid 3.
And then you get Brian.
Solid third starter, Mark.
Yeah. So they're solid. So they're solid with the starting pitching. Now, last thing I'll say, Red Sox, they made some moves to pick up a couple of bullpen arms. They picked up this kid, Durbin, going to play third base from Milwaukee because they let.
I know, but Mark, wait a minute. Look at how they did it.
No. Because they let Bregman go. But here's my point, Chris. In order to bring in those couple of guys, they've now got rid of everybody that they picked up in the Devers trade, which means you traded Devers for nothing. All the guys they got in that Devers trade are all gone. So you basically traded him for crap.
But Mark, it just shows you that deal right there. I'm so glad you brought that up because that deal right there just shows you exactly what a minor market, is that a word, team that this is now.
Yeah, that's what we've become.
Because it was like a 6-player deal. It was like some stupid 3-team, 6 players. That's the kind of crap Milwaukee does. That's the kind of move. And by the way, I just wanted to let you know, Milwaukee won that deal, by the way. They're going to end up winning that deal, just so you know. But my point is, that's such a mid-market, small market move to wrap 6 guys into a whole thing with 3 teams and move it here and move this guy here. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Dodgers, okay, what the hell are they doing out? They're printing money over there. They don't care.
Chris, they brought in the 2 best free agents in free agency. They brought in Kyle Tucker, the outfielder, and they went and got the number 1 closer in free agency,
Diaz. What? Why isn't New York or Boston in on that guy, on those guys? Why?
They're not in on them. They don't want to spend the money, Chris. The only way the Yankees will spend money is if they don't make the playoffs this year. They'll do like the last time they didn't make the playoffs, they went and got Soto. Granted, it was only for a year, but they made a deal and they went and got somebody. If the Yankees don't make the playoffs, then the fan base then the owner gets nervous that, if we don't make the playoffs, we're going to lose money. As long as they keep making the wild card, he don't give a shit. It's like John Henry.
So they're like the Bruins.
Like John Henry. Yeah.
So they're like not the cross sports, but they're like the Bruins. So we're just happy making the playoffs now.
That's what
the New York Yankees.
That's what the Yankees have
Joe,
become.
are you listening to this, or are you passed out already from this?
He's sleeping.
Hearing this.
I had it on mute because I'm just swearing.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what the New York Yankees have become. That's what the Yankees have become.
Your New York Yankees. They're my New York Yankees too. But it's just. Yeah, I don't understand. It's disgusting because you fools out there, you people, we're all fools, all of us. We keep buying the tickets and we keep going to the games and we keep selling the joint out and we keep, we gotta don't let them off the hook. Don't let the goddamn ownership off the hook. Don't let John Henry off the hook. Don't let that fool in New York off the hook.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Stop bitching. Stop complaining. Stop showing up.
Listen, Red Sox will sell out every game again this year. People are buying all those dumb jerseys, those green jerseys, those yellow jerseys.
Yeah,
they're making money, Chris. They're making money.
Real quick, we ever going to see a cap?
Well, supposedly after what
MLB.
The Dodgers did this year. Supposedly, they think they're going to try to really push hard for a cap. They think this will be the last season of baseball for a while because they think the following year you could lose it because of a lockout. The players won't allow it.
I think there's going to be a lockout.
Allow it. So if you go into a lockout after this season, you may not see baseball for quite a while.
No. Well, we'll see what happens. Hey, Mark, that was a good little preview for what's coming because pitchers and catchers have reported.
They reported. That's why I brought it up.
That's right. And so we're going to get into baseball a little bit more now that football is over.
The World Baseball Classic is going to be in March.
But the Battlehawks are starting in March.
Oh, my God.
So I'll be wearing.
That's when you know you have a problem.
I'll be wearing that shirt for the UFL or whatever the hell they call that. But good stuff, guys. We got to go. Corso and Catone was presented by the Pats Nation Sundays 8 a.m. Tomorrow we're going to talk more about Super Bowl 60 season recap, what they should do moving forward, and make sure. And by the way, that's going to be our final Pats Nation for a while. We'll have our free agent show. We'll have our draft show, and then we'll come back into the season. But come back to this show next week, noon Eastern, as we will continue to look at the Patriots offseason, Bruins, Celtics. Mark's going to give us more of a preview on the Major League Baseball, and spring training is set to go. Anything you bring to the table, we will be ready. We are Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. See you next Saturday.
Now find Corso and Catone on AM 790, The Score, iHeartRadio, iTunes, wherever you podcast. Or subscribe to the YouTube channel and catch the chaos every Saturday at noon.